Hi YouTubers! Today I'm here to review the e.l.f. 11-piece brush set. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because I can't stand long YouTube videos. Starting with the powder brush. Let me just say this. e.l.f.'s names for their brushes just like baffle me. I don't understand why you'd call things a complexion brush when it's a powder brush, or this a powder brush when it should be a stippling brush. Whatever. I'm just gonna go by the names so that I can describe them to you. The powder brush is pretty good for building powder, but what it is amazing for is liquid foundation. It does everything that a fancy stippling brush would do, giving you airbrush foundation. It's just perfect. It could be a smidge more dense, but I mean, it's nothing that you really can't fix by like squeezing it and really packing it down. For $3, you're not gonna find anything better than this. Next is the complexion brush. Again, why would you call it a complexion brush? It's a powder brush. Those silly elves, they don't know how to name brushes. Anyways, it's a very soft brush. Just got caught up rubbing it right there. As far as building powder, this is good if you want light coverage. It doesn't really have the ability as this brush to sort of pack in the powder into your skin. What this is really good for is setting powder because it has a sort of light all over touch, and the size is relatively big, I'd say, in comparison to your face, so it's good for doing all over setting. Fan brush. I can sum up my feelings for the fan brush in one word. It's a fan brush. This is e.l.f.'s version of a traditionally very high-end brush for makeup perfectionists. If you really want a fan brush and this is all you can afford, I'd say go for it. But if you have the money for a more upscale brush, you probably want to go with that. And now to the eyeshadow C brush. This is overall a pretty good brush. It's a little short. The size of this, the height of it from where the ferrule ends to the end of the bristles is like tiny. Maybe I just have huge eyelids, but like when I start to put it on, it's like this could be longer to cover more space, but at the same time it's also very wide. So it's like an awkward distribution of its size. It's very good at picking up color and depositing color. Yeah. The contouring brush, so small. This is also like the other one that's very super duper short, but it's very, very densely packed. So I find that when I put it like into my crease, it's almost painful. It's just stiff. It's uncomfortably stiff. It's good at depositing color, but also it soaks up a lot of color. When I really think that I've like deposited all the color on my eyelid, I haven't. It's like just chilling in my brush. I wouldn't recommend it for beginners because I feel like to get it to act the way you want it to, you have to do a lot of fiddling with it. Now, if you're kind of experienced with contouring brushes and you just want something cheap to use, you could work around this. Concealer brush. It's not worth it. It's very stiff, too densely packed, unwilling to pick up anything that's like traditional concealer consistency. The only thing that it would work for is powder concealer, but really, who uses powder concealer? I'm gonna do the small smudge brush and precision brush kind of together because they're basically the same damn brush. There's not really a difference, which sort of makes them like, I'm like, why would you put two in there, e.l.f.? What are you doing with your lives? Ugh. It's good for eyeliner, defining your eyebrows, or lip lining even if you want to use it for that. The only thing is like say I was buying these individually, you wouldn't buy both of these. You'd buy one or the other, so that's the only thing. The blush brush. I really like this brush, but I think it's an acquired taste. It has this weird sort of like V shape happening at the top, which I find is really good for like contouring the sort of gradient that the bristles are at. I tend to put my blush, like pick up my blush right in this area and then put it on the apples of my cheeks. So you can switch from just contouring right here and then go to the apples of your cheeks with your blush like in no time. Like the only thing is that I wish this brush was fluffier. It's like womp womp, like all skinny and super skinny. But overall, this is a really, really good brush. These are some brushes that I do not have with me for some reason or another. I must have lost them because I recently went through a move. College. There was like a fluffy angled brush, which I think was supposed to be like their angled blush brush. I'm gonna put it in here. With this brush, you really don't need it, so I couldn't really find use for it. The other brush that was in there was the angled foundation brush. I'm already not a fan of traditional foundation brushes, but this brush especially I did not like. Why would you angle a foundation brush? What kind of angling do you need just to put on foundation? Also, it was smaller than what you would need a foundation brush to be useful.
Time waster.
Now, I gave it to my roommate, and my roommate like loves it, but she uses it to put on her concealer, which she claims that she just wanted something stiff, and she makes it work. It's not my favorite brush. Overall, I'd say don't buy the set. Instead, purchase the couple brushes that are in here that are super duper useful, and then purchase some other e.l.f. ones that don't come in the set that you're interested in trying. If you were to buy the brushes individually and purchase them and mix and match, it would probably cost the same as a set, but you'd actually get brushes that you want. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Hope you enjoy.